So write down the amount of work done, the amount of work done, okay ma, to assemble a group of charges, to assemble a group of charges at a point or at their respective positions, that is better, at their respective positions, is called electric potential energy. Okay ma? So that is the definition of electric potential energy. Are you able to understand? So the amount of work which is done to assemble a group of charges in their respective positions is called as electric potential energy. Okay. So this is also called as interaction energy also. This is also called interaction energy. Okay ma? Interaction energy. Now let us try to understand what is the meaning of the statements which we have written. Okay. So see ma, for example, I am going to rub this one. See ma, for example, let us consider there are a group of charges which are present at infinity. Or first of all, let us take two charges or three charges. Consider this is 1, this is 2, and this is third charge. This is Q1, this is Q2, and this one is Q3. Clear ma? So they are separate. They are present at infinite separation. These three charges, they are present at infinite separation. What is meant by infinite separation? Infinite separation means what? The distance between each of these charges is very large. That is the meaning of this one. No? It means there is no force of attraction or force of repulsion between these charges. Okay? Okay. Now, this charge from here, it is present somewhere at infinity. Clear ma? So, from here, this charge, I want to bring this one up to here. Are you able to understand? So, this is position A. So, from infinity, I want to bring this charge up to here, up to point A. Clear? Now, can you say what amount of work I have to do? W1 is how much? Can you say my anybody? So, to bring that charge from infinity to this particular point A, how much work I have to do? Come on. Think about this one. How much work shall I do? To bring this charge from infinity to this point, how much amount of work I have to do? Anybody in online? Are you thinking or sleeping, all of you? Huh? 1 by 4 pi E naught? 1 by 4 pi E naught? Q by R. Very good. So, work done will be 0. Work done will be how much? 0. No need of doing any work. What is the reason? If there is any force of repulsion, then to oppose that one, I have to apply some force. If there is a force of attraction, then to bring the charge without any acceleration, then also I have to apply force. But to bring this charge from here to here there is no force of attraction, here there is no force of repulsion also, then why we have to do any work? We need not apply any force. Understand? Just I will say, charge please travel from here to here, it will travel from here to here. That's all. No need of doing any work. Are you able to understand ma? So, W1 is 0. What is W1? The amount of work done to bring a charge from infinity to this point A is called as W1, which is equal to 0. Okay? Okay. Now what I do is, I want to bring this charge Q2 from this position to this position. Are you able to understand ma? Clear? So, let this be point to B. Clear ma? Then this distance, let us call it as, this is first position, this is second position. So, let this distance be R12. Okay. So now I want to bring this charge which was also present at infinity. From here I want to bring this charge to point B. Clear? Now can you say, first of all, do I need to do any work or no need of doing any work? Shall I need to do any work or no need of doing any work, ma? To bring this charge from infinity to this position. Distance between first charge and second charge is how much now? Distance between first charge and second charge is R12. Clear? Now in this condition, shall I do any work or not? Yes, why? Yes, now there is force of repulsion between A and B, no? When it starts coming towards A, there will be definitely some force of repulsion. To overcome this repulsion, definitely I have to apply some force. Force is applied, displacement is also there, so definitely I have to do some work in this condition. So how much work I have to do? Let that W2 be, W2 is equals to V into Q only, no ma? W2 is what? V into Q. That's all, no? Which charge I am moving? I am moving Q2 charge. Q1 charge already we have moved. Now we are moving which charge? Q2 charge I am moving from infinity to this point. So shear charge which I am writing is Q2. Then what is meant by V here? V means what? Potential at this point. Clear? At this point, who is giving the potential? At point B, who is providing the potential, ma? First charge. This charge Q1, it is providing the potential, no? This charge Q1 is providing the potential. Now, because of Q1, what is the potential at this point? Can you say anybody? Because of this is VQ1. VQ1 means what? Potential due to Q1 at point B. So, at point B, what is the potential due to Q1? K Q1 divided by R12. That's all. This is a charge Q1. What is this distance? R12. KQ by R only is the formula for potential due to point charge. No? Potential due to point charge, what is the formula? KQ by R. So R distance is R12. That's all, no? So work done is how much? KQ1 by R12 multiplied by Q2. That's all, no? So therefore W2 is how much? W2 is KQ1 Q2 divided by R12. Clear? Now one charge I have brought, second charge also I have brought. Now can you say what is the total amount of work done up to here? W total. To bring two charges at two different positions, what is the total amount of work done? Total amount of work done is W1 plus W2. That's all, no? W1 is how much? 0. W2 is how much? W2 is KQ1 Q2 divided by R12. Understand, no? So therefore, this total amount of work done can be written as KQ1 Q2 divided by R12, no? Can I write like this? KQ1 Q2 divided by R12. So therefore, what is the total amount of interaction energy or electrostatic potential energy between these two charges? This is the electrostatic potential energy. Clear, ma? The work which you are doing to bring two charges at two respective positions, that amount of work will be stored as what? That amount of work will be stored as potential energy in between the charges. So these two charges always they are in tension, no? These two charges always they are in tension. Why they are in tension? Because continuous force of repulsion is existing between them. Clear? So to bring these two charges into this potential energy situation, we are doing some work. That work is nothing but potential energy stored between two charges. Okay? So in between first charge and second charge, what is the amount of interaction energy, ma? KQ1 Q2 divided by R12. Satisfied? Okay. Up to here it is clear. Now what I do is, I want to bring this third charge again to this point. Are you able to understand, ma? Now I am bringing third charge also. Third charge where it was present? It was also present at infinity. So from infinity I want to bring this charge Q3. Now shall I need to do some work or not? Is there any need to do some work or not? 1 minute, ma? You understood my question, ma? Now to bring this third charge from infinity to this point, shall I need to do some work or not? That is my question. So at this point, there will be two forces of repulsion, no? Q1 is also opposing this one. Q2, here what is the charge which is present? Charge Q2. This is point C. Now we are bringing charge Q3 to this position. So continuously this will be repelled by these two charges, no, ma? So definitely I have to apply some work. So let that work be, let work done, let work done to bring third charge. Work done to bring a third charge, let it be W3. So W3 is how much? W3 is potential at point C multiplied by Q3. That's all, Nama. What is meant by VC here? VC is a potential at this point. Now at this point, who is providing the potential? Can you see? So let this distance be R13 and let this distance be R23. Clear, ma? Now can you say VC is what? Who is providing VC here? At a point C, who is providing potential? This charge is also providing potential. Q2 is also providing potential. So therefore, what is the total potential at point C? KQ by R13, KQ2 divided by R23. That's all. No? So therefore, what I can write? Potential at a point C is how much, ma? So KQ1 divided by R12, KQ2 divided by R23, 13 no, multiplied by Q3. That's all, no? So therefore W3 is how much? W3 is equals to K Q1 Q2 divided Q1 Q3 divided by R13 plus K Q2 Q3 divided by R23. That's all, no? What is this one? This is the amount of work done to bring a third charge from infinity to point C. Clear? Now, what is the total amount of work done? Total amount of work done to assemble all these charges. It is W1 plus W2 plus W3. W1 plus W2 is how much? KQ1 Q2 divided by R12. W3 is how much? KQ1 Q3 divided by R13, KQ2 Q3 divided by R23. That's all. That's all. Make a note up to here. Clear, ma? So therefore, what is the total amount of work done to assemble three charges? This is the amount of work done. Clear, ma? Where shall I write that? Okay, first of all, make a note up to here. So this one and this one. This will be the total amount of work done. And this is called as electrostatic potential energy that is stored in between these three charges. Or you can also call it as interaction energy of these three charges. Understood, Nama? Come on. Very, very, very important concept. Many times questions. Okay, ma'am. Now let us see. So therefore, to bring three charges, what is the total amount of work we have done? Total amount of work we have done is okay, ma'am. So to bring three charges, the amount of work which we have done is this one. So total work done to bring three charges nearer to each other. Clear? How much amount of work we have done, ma? W1 plus W2 plus W3. That's all, no? W1 is 0, W2 is K Q1 Q2 divided by R12. W3 is how much? K Q1 Q3 divided by R13 plus K Q2 Q3 divided by R23. This is the total amount of work done. Are you able to understand? Okay. Now, if I want to bring a fourth charge also, then can you say what will be the amount of work done? So let us consider there is one fourth charge somewhere here, Q4. It is also present at infinity, very long distance. Clear, ma? So this fourth charge I want to bring up to here. Clear? Now can you say what will be the amount of work done? First of all, to bring fourth charge, how much work I have to do? W4 amount of work I have to do, no? Come on, now try to see. So, let this be point D. Clear, Nama? So work done will be how much? VD into Q4. That's all, no? VD into Q4. Potential at this point is VD. The charge which I am moving is Q4. So VD into Q4. Satisfied, no? Clear? Now VD is how much? Potential at point D is how much? Potential at point D is how much? So let this distance be R14. Clear, ma? Let this distance be R34. Similarly, let this distance be, which is distance? This is R24. Clear? Now can you say what is the total potential at point D? First of all, at point D, potential is because of how many charges? Three charges. So three potentials will be existing, no? So KQ1 divided by R14, KQ2 divided by R24 plus KQ3 divided by R34 multiplied by Q4. That's all, no, ma? So therefore, what is the total amount of work done? Now, W total I am calculating. What is meant by W total? To bring four charges to their respective positions. To bring four charges. What is the total amount of work done? Now, first of all, we have to calculate W1 plus W2, W3 plus W4. That's all, no? So total how much? KQ1, Q2 divided by R12, KQ1, Q3 divided by R13 plus KQ2, Q3 divided by R23. Next, these three. Next, KQ1, Q4 divided by R14 plus KQ2, Q4 divided by R24 plus KQ3, Q4 divided by R34. That's all. This will be the total amount of work done. So total how many pairs I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pairs I got. Clear, ma? To assemble only two charges, how many pairs we are getting? To assemble only two charges, only this much amount of work is done, no? Only one pair. Only this is our answer, only when two charges are assembled. Okay? When three charges are assembled, W1 plus W2 plus W3. This is the total amount of work done. Three pairs I got. Clear, nama? To assemble four charges, six pairs of equations I got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Are you able to understand, all of you? So therefore, this number how can you represent is, first of all, make a note up to here, then we will discuss. Come on. Okay, ma? Now let us see this one. So therefore, to bring only one charge, how much work we have done? To bring only one charge, we have done only one pair of work, KQ1, Q2 divided by R12. Clear, ma? To bring two charges, three pairs of work we have done. Three charges. Three pairs of work we have done, no? So, for one charge, to bring from infinity up to one point, W1 is 0. Clear, ma? For two charges, to bring at a particular position, what is the work done? So, total work done is equals to W1 plus W2, which is equals to KQ1, Q2 divided by R12. So, how many pairs are possible, ma? Here only one pair of work is done. That's all, no? Similarly, for three charges, what is the total amount of work done? Total work done is W1 plus W2 plus W3. Clear, ma? So it is KQ1 divided by KQ1 Q2 divided by R12 plus KQ2 Q3 divided by R23 plus KQ1 Q3 divided by R13. This is the amount of work done. Clear, ma? So how many pairs we got here? Three pairs we got. Okay. Similarly, for four charges, to bring four charges to their respective positions, what is the total amount of work done? W1 plus W2 plus W3 plus W4. So how many pairs? KQ1 Q2 divided by R12 plus KQ1 Q3 divided by R13 plus KQ1 Q4 divided by R14. Clear, ma? Plus KQ2 Q3 divided by R23 plus KQ2 Q4 divided by R24 plus KQ3 Q4 divided by R34. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pairs of work is done. So how many totally pairs? 6 pairs of work is done. That's all, no? So this total number of pairs which are possible, that is given by a number which is called as n into n minus 1. Clear, ma? First of all, did you make a note of this? Make a note of this one. Okay. So here I am writing total number of pairs. Total number of pairs is equals to n into n minus 1 divided by 2. That is the relation. Clear, ma? So totally how many number of pairs are possible, that is given by this number, n into n minus 1 divided by 2. What is n here? N is number of charges. N is just number of charges. So if you substitute 2 into 2 minus 1 by 2 is 2 only, 1 only, no? So that is one pair is possible. If you substitute 3 charges, n value is 3. 3 into 2 by 2 is 3. 3 pairs are possible. If you substitute n value is 4, 4 pairs are possible, 6 pairs are possible, no? So 4 into 3 minus 1 by 2, 12 by 2 is 6 pairs are possible. Are you able to understand, ma? That's all. This is how you can remember for how many charges, how many number of pairs are possible. Clear? That's all. See, ma, very simple. For example, if we have 4 charges, 1, 2, 3, 4 charges. This is Q1, this is Q2, this is Q3, and this is Q4. Then how many pairs are possible? This is one pair, no? First pair. Clear, no, ma? This is second pair, no? 2 pairs. This is third pair, no? Third pair. This is fourth pair, no? 4. Next, this is one pair is there, no? Fifth pair. Next, this is one more pair is there, which is called sixth pair. So total 6 pairs are possible if total number of charges are 4. Okay. If 5 pairs are present, 5 into 5 minus 1 divided by 2. 5 4s are 20 by 2. 10 pairs are possible, like that. Clear? That's all. Make a note. Okay, ma? Then after this we will study what will be the electric potential energy to move charges from infinity into an electric field. Previously, when we have moved charges from infinity to a particular point, at that point there was no electric field, no? At that point there was no electric field. But now the condition which we are discussing is this one. Clear, no, ma? So, electric potential energy in uniform electric field. In uniform electric field. What is the meaning of this one? Let us see. Okay, ma? So consider here there is some electric field. Okay. So whether it is uniform or non-uniform also, we can use the same relation, no problem. Are you able to understand? Okay. So here there is one charge Q1 which is present at infinity. Charge Q1 is present at infinity. Are you able to understand, ma? So this is our uniform electric field. So this charge, I want to bring this one from here to this point, point A. Are you able to understand, ma? So from infinity to this point, I want to bring this charge Q1. Now can you say how much amount of work I have to do? So is there any necessity of doing work or no need of doing any work? Is there a necessity of doing work? Students in online, sleeping or alive? Clear, ma? So to bring a charge from infinity to this point, is there a need of doing any work or no need of doing any work? Definitely we should do some work. No? What is the reason? Because immediately when this charge enters into this electric field, it will experience some force. Clear? To oppose this force, definitely we have to do some work. So therefore, how much work I have to do? Work is equals to V into Q. That's all, no? So let potential at point A is how much? Potential at point A is VA, and the charge which one we are moving is Q1. So how much work I have to do? W1 is equals to VA into Q1 amount of work I have to do. Satisfied, no? What is VA? VA is the potential at this point because of this electric field. And which charge we are moving? We are moving a charge of Q1. So work done is VA into Q1. Clear, no, ma? Okay. Now consider there is one more charge Q2, which is also present at infinity. Okay, ma? Now this charge, I want to move this one from here to this point. Are you able to understand? Clear, ma? So work done doesn't depend upon path taken, no? Already we have studied that electrostatic fields are conservative fields. Conservative fields means what? Whatever direction you are taking the charge, work done doesn't depend on the direction. Work done depends only on initial point and final point. Okay. So now I am bringing the charge up to point B. Are you able to understand, ma? or both of them are in a straight line. Instead of that, let us do one thing. Clear ma? So we are moving the charge from here to here. Okay. So this is point B. Now can you say how much work I have to do? To bring a charge from charge Q2 from infinity to this point, how much work I have to do? VB into Q2. Only that one, no other force. KQ1 divided by R12. Okay, so this distance you are saying, okay, so let this distance be X. Clear? Now can you say? So what is W2? What is meant by W2? Work done to bring Q2 up to this point. Q2 will be how much more? W2 will be how much? So at this point, how many potentials are there? Two potentials are there. What are the two potentials? One potential is because of electric field, and one more potential is because of potential due to charge Q1, which was transferred up to here. Are you able to understand, ma? So therefore at this point B, two potentials are present. So what is the work done? W2 is equals to VB. One potential is VB, no? Potential due to electric field. So VB into Q2 plus there is one more potential, no? Potential of because of point A at this position. So that is given by KQ1 divided by X multiplied by Q2. That's all, no? So this much amount of work I have to do. Are you able to understand, ma? So one work is because work done formula is V into Q only. But one work done because of potential because of uniform electric field. VB. What is VB? Potential at point B because of this uniform electric field. Clear, ma? And one more potential is also existing, no? KQ1 divided by X. Because of that also I have to do some work. So again this is V into Q2. Are you able to understand what is this KQ1 by X? This is potential due to Q1 multiplied by Q2. Are you able to understand? So therefore what is the total amount of work done now? Total amount of work done to bring all the two charges at their respective positions. This is W1 plus W2. Clear, ma? VA into Q1 plus VB into Q2 plus KQ1 divided by X into Q2. That is the total amount of work done. Understood, no, ma? Come on, make a note of work this. Therefore total work done to bring two charges is equals to how much? W1 plus W2. Now you write this equation, that is our answer. Okay, ma? That's okay, ma? So question, have you understood, ma? Okay. So four identical charges Q are placed at corners of a square. So consider this is a square. Clear, no, ma? So here there is one charge Q, here also there is one charge Q, here also there is one charge Q, and here also there is one charge Q. Then what is asking, and sides of the square is also given, no? Each side is having a side of a length of A. Okay, ma? Then find the potential energy of one of the charges due to remaining charges. Can you say what is the meaning of this question? So what is meant by interaction potential energy of one of the charges due to remaining charges? What is the meaning of this one? Anybody, can you say, ma? What is the meaning of this statement? Potential energy of one charge because of other charges. Okay. Potential energy means what? To bring a charge from infinity to a particular position is called potential energy of only that charge. Clear? So consider initially this fourth charge is not present here. Clear? So consider fourth charge Q, it is present at infinity. Clear, no, ma? So to bring this charge from here to this point, definitely I have to do some work, no? So that amount of work will be stored as electrostatic potential energy of this charge. That's all. Clear, ma? I am not discussing about interaction energy of all the charges. Total system potential energy I am not studying. I am studying potential energy of only one charge. So to bring this charge, how much work I have to do, can you say? W is equals to V into Q only, no? To bring this charge from infinity to this point, this much amount of work I have to do. What is Q? Q is the charge which I have moved. What is V? V is the potential at this point. Now at this point, can you say what is the potential? At this point, what is the potential? So because of this one, here there will be some potential, no? How much? So total potential is equals to kq divided by A, potential due to this charge. Potential due to this charge also same, no? Kq divided by A only. But potential due to this charge is different because it is present at a different distance. What is this distance? Square root of A square plus A square is root 2 into A. That's all, no? So therefore potential due to this charge will be equal to kq divided by root 2 into A. So this is the total potential existing at this point because of 1, 2 and 3 charges. That's all. So therefore W is how much? W is equals to, so kq divided by A plus kq divided by A plus kq divided by root 2A multiplied by Q. So this is the total amount of interaction energy of what? Of only one charge. To make this charge to travel from here to here, I have to do this much amount of work. So this work will be stored as potential energy of this charge. Are you able to understand, ma? We are not discussing about total potential energy of total system. Potential energy of system means what? Amount of work done to assemble all the 4 charges. How many charges are present? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many pairs we will get? 6 pairs we will get. Clear? We are not discussing about that one. We are discussing only about interaction energy of only one charge. This is the amount of work done. And this will be the amount of potential energy stored in this 4th charge. Clear? Come on, make a note of this one. Okay, ma? Now can you say, how can I solve this first question? Okay, ma? So what is the first question he is asking? First question is, what is the potential energy of total system? For total system, how can I calculate potential energy? So equilateral triangle means this one only, no, ma? This is also having side A, this is also side A, and this is also side A. Clear, no? And what are the charges which are present? This is Q, this is Q, and this is also Q. So how many charges are present? 3 charges are present. So total potential energy, how can I write? Total potential energy can be written as 3 pairs are possible, no? Because there are 3 charges, n into n minus 1 divided by 2. So 3 into 2 divided by 2 is how much? 3 pairs are possible. 3 charges are present and 3 pairs will be possible. So what are the 3 pairs? K Q1 Q2 divided by R12, K Q1 Q3 divided by R13 plus K Q2 Q3 divided by R23. That's all, no? Here K1 K2 values are equal, no? And R values are also equal, no? Clear? So therefore how can I write? Can I write 3kq square divided by A? Can I write like this? That's all. So all of them are magnitude wise, they are equal. So 3kq square divided by A. So that is the potential energy between these 3 charges. Okay? Come on, make a note of this one. Then we will go to the second question. Come on. Then he is asking one more question. Second question is like this. I am rubbing this one, ma. So remember this answer. Remember answer of this one is 3kq square divided by A. Okay? Then let us see what is the second question he is asking. Second question which he is asking is, clear? So if calculate the work required to decrease the sides of triangle to A by 2. So calculate the work done to reduce the sides of triangle, to A by 2. This is the question. Clear, ma? So initially what was our triangle? This was our triangle, no, ma? Clear? So this side is A, this side is A, this side is also A. So here Q was present, here also Q was present, here also Q was present. Now this triangle, I want to reduce its size now. Clear, ma? Now what is this distance? A by 2, A by 2 and A by 2. Clear, no, ma? Here charges are Q, Q and Q. Clear? Now to make this triangle into this triangle, how much work I have to do? That is the question. So can you say, anybody, how can I do this calculation? Okay, it means I have to, how much more? 6kq square divided by a. Okay. Okay. That's all. That is my answer. Sima, what is work done? Work done is nothing but u2 minus u1. No? What is meant by u2 minus u1? u2 is final potential energy. u1 is initial potential energy. You subtract their energies. If energy is changing, how energy will change? Only when we are doing some work. That's all. So work done is u2 minus u1. So final potential energy is how much? Here also same formula, no? So 3 pairs are present. Charges are equal. Distances are also equal. So u2 will be how much? kq square divided by a by 2. I have to write, no? A by 2 I have to write. 3kq square divided by a by 2 because 3 pairs are present. Okay. So therefore 6kq square divided by a. So this is the final potential energy. Initial potential energy already we have, no? 3kq square divided by a. So therefore work done will be how much? So 6kq square divided by a minus 3kq square divided by a. So it is again equal to 3kq square divided by a. That is our answer. Okay, that's all very simple. Come on, make a note of this one. Understood, no more? This problem? Clear, ma? So when charges are released from initial position means what? This is the initial position, no? So this is q, and this is q. Clear, ma? And this is side A, this is side A, and this is side A. Clear, no? So to make these charges present to be here, we should hold the charges. We should definitely hold the charges. We cannot release the charges. If we release the charges, what will happen? They will start moving in opposite direction. Why? Because there is electrostatic force of repulsion. No? So now what I am doing is, I am releasing them. Immediately when I release them, they start moving in this direction. They start moving in opposite direction. Are you able to understand, ma? And finally, they have reached to these positions. Clear? They have reached to these positions. Now what is this distance? The new distance which is formed between them is 2a. So now also they are present on an equilateral triangle. Clear, ma? And they are moving also. Now we are not holding them. They are definitely moving. So when I release them and when they make a triangle of 2a, now what he is asking, what is the speed of each particle? How can I solve this question? Can you see? When I release them and when they are present at a distance of 2a, now what is the speed of each particle? Anybody, ma? How can I calculate? How can we calculate this one? This problem we can solve by law of conservation of energy. Clear, ma? So here we use what? We use law of conservation of mechanical energy. So this we have studied in the first year classes. Clear, ma? What is meant by law of conservation of mechanical energy? So here there is no external forces are not acting, no? On this total charges, external forces are not acting. Gravitational forces are present, but when compared to electrostatic forces, gravitational forces are very small. So you can neglect those charges. So in between them, what kind of force is present? Only electrostatic force of repulsion is present, which is a conservative force. So what is law of conservation of mechanical energy? Delta K plus delta U is equal to 0. This is what we have studied now in first year. So change in kinetic energy plus change in potential energy totally should be equal to 0. In which condition I can use this relation? If only conservative forces are acting. In which condition I can use this one, ma? If only conservative forces are acting. Clear? If non-conservative forces are acting, then I cannot use this relation. If only conservative forces are acting, I can use this relation. Clear, ma? Same relation can be written as K2 minus K1 plus U2 minus U1 is equal to 0, no? Change in kinetic energy means K2 minus K1. Clear, ma? Same relation can I write K1 plus U1 is equals to K2 plus U2. I can write like this also. Okay, what is K1? Initial kinetic energy. It means when system is present at A, when charges are present at A, is there any velocity for them? There is no velocity. So initial kinetic energy is how much? 0. What is U1? Initial potential energy. That means when charges are present at a distance of A, initial potential is energy is how much? 3kq square divided by A. Already we have calculated this one, no? Okay. Now final kinetic energy is how much? All the three charges, they are moving with particular velocity, no ma? What is the potential energy of each charge? Half mv square. Half mv square. Total how many charges are present? 3 charges are present. So total kinetic energy is how much? 3 into half mv square. That's all, no? Because 3 charges are present. And final potential energy is how much? They are present at a distance of 2a, no? So therefore, what is the total potential energy? 3 into kq square divided by 2a. That's all, no? So 3k square, kq square divided by a when they are present at a distance of a. When they are present at a distance of 2a, 3kq square divided by 2a. So from this total calculation, can't I calculate v value? That's all. That is my answer. Okay. Come on, make a note up to here and calculate v value. Are able to understand, ma? So I am rubbing this question and I am directly writing the answer here. Clear? So velocity v value which you should get is, so half square root of q square divided by pi e naught a into m. Pi e naught m into a. Clear, ma? So this is the velocity of each particle when they are present at a distance of 2a. Clear, ma? So this particle is traveling with how much velocity, ma? Each particle is traveling with a velocity of v. This is also traveling with a velocity of v. This is also traveling with a velocity of v. Clear? That's all. So make a note up to here, then we will continue our discussion in the next class. This is the next question. So Seema, have you understood the question first of all of you? So there is an alpha particle whose kinetic energy is 10 million electron volts, or you can call it as mega electron volts also. Okay. So it is heading towards a stationary tin nucleus whose atomic number is 50. Then you calculate the distance of closest approach. Okay. So can anybody say how can I do this calculation? Okay, ma? Question is based on what? So consider this is an alpha particle. Clear? So its kinetic energy is given. Kinetic energy means energy because of what? Kinetic energy means it is the energy because of velocity of the particle. That's all, Rama? So therefore, it is having total how much energy? It is having an kinetic energy of 10 into 10 power minus 6, 10 power plus 6 electron volts. This much of energy it is having. Million means 10 power plus 6, or you can call it as mega, 10 power 6 electron volts. Clear, ma? So at a far away distance, we have a tin nucleus. Clear? What is this one? This is a tin nucleus. Okay. And whose atomic number is how much? Atomic number, you can call it as Z, is equals to 50. Then you are supposed to calculate the distance of closest approach. What is meant by distance of closest approach? So this alpha particle, it tries to come near to this tin nucleus number. Okay. Now it will not touch this tin nucleus. What is the reason? Because though it is having kinetic energy, when it starts coming towards the tin nucleus, its kinetic energy continuously converts into potential energy. Are you able to understand, ma? Force of repulsion will be existing between these two positively charged particles, no? Nucleus is a positively charged body because it has 50 number of protons. Atomic number 50 means it has 50 number of protons only, no? And what about alpha particle? What is an alpha particle, ma? So it is the nucleus of helium atom. That is called an alpha particle, no? Alpha particle means helium of a nucleus atom. Clear, no, ma? So therefore, what is the, what you called mass number of this one? Mass number is 4, atomic number is 2. So it has 2 electrons, 2 protons inside this nucleus, and its mass number will be 4. Are you able to understand? Okay. So there will be strong force of repulsion between alpha particle and this nucleus. Are you able to understand? So therefore, when it starts coming towards this nucleus, it may reach only up to this distance. So after reaching up to this distance, what will be its velocity? Its final velocity will become 0. Clear, Nama? So it will travel up to here, and from here again it will start returning back also. So this distance we call it as distance of closest approach. So this is called as distance of closest approach. Are you able to understand, ma? So this distance we are supposed to find out. Let this distance be r. This r value we are supposed to find out. Clear, ma? So can you say how can we calculate this one? All of you are able to understand what is happening here? So this alpha particle initially it has kinetic energy, no? Kinetic energy is not because of initial energy. Initial velocity is u. Because of this initial velocity it has kinetic energy. So when it starts moving towards the tin nucleus, then what will happen? Its velocity continuously reduces, no? Velocity continuously reduces. It means energy is reducing. Which energy is reducing? Kinetic energy is reducing. According to law of conservation of energy, if one energy is reducing, another energy should increase. Which energy is increasing? Potential energy between this alpha nucleus and this tin nucleus will increase. Clear, no? Now at the distance of closest approach, the total velocity of alpha particle will become 0. Okay. So therefore, how can I solve this problem? So it reaches up to here, its velocity becomes 0, but there will be very strong force of repulsion between these two particles, Nama. So again alpha particle starts returning back also. So how can I solve this problem? With the help of which logic I can solve this problem? So can I use law of conservation of energy? I can use law of conservation of energy, Nama. What is law of conservation of energy? Total initial energy should be equal to total final energy. That's all, no? So all the forces which are acting here are only conservative forces only. So therefore I can use law of conservation of mechanical energy also. If only conservative forces are acting, then which concept I can use? Law of conservation of mechanical energy. What is law of conservation of mechanical energy? So K1 plus U1 is equals to K2 plus U2. This relation we can use. Clear? Or I can say delta K plus delta U is equal to 0. This is also another form of K1 plus U1 is equals to K2 plus U2. What is K1? Initial kinetic energy. So out of these two particles, which one has initial kinetic energy? Only this alpha particle. What is its energy? 10 into 10 power minus 6. So therefore I will write plus 6. 10 into 10 power plus 6 electron volts. 1 electron volt is how much? 1 electron volt is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 joules. Clear, Nama? So 1 electron volt is how much? 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 joules. This is the energy of 1 electron volt. Clear, ma? Initial potential energy 0. Why initial potential energy is 0? Because initial separation between alpha particle and nucleus is very, very large. Initial distance is very large. So therefore initial potential energy will be 0. Okay. Then can you say what is the final kinetic energy? Final kinetic energy is 0. Because at the distance of closest approach, alpha particle is also in rest position, nucleus is also in rest position. Clear, Nama? So final kinetic energy is 0. Now final potential energy is how much? Final potential energy is how much? So now this alpha particle and nucleus, they are present at a distance of r, no? When two charged particles are present at a distance of r, then what is the formula for kinetic and potential energy? Yesterday only we have studied, no? K Q1 Q2 divided by r. That's all, no? So K Q1. Q1 means a charge of alpha particle. What is the charge of alpha particle? 2e. That's all, no? Because it has proton number of 2. So equal to 2 times of charge of an electron or a proton. Clear, ma? And what is Q2? Q2 is a charge present in this nucleus, no? What is its atomic number? 50. So therefore 50 into E. That's all, no? So divided by K Q1 Q2 divided by R. So this R value only we are supposed to find out. Are you able to understand? Come on, make a note up to here, then we will do the calculation. Or is it visible? Come on. Okay, ma? So if it is visible, we will solve here only. So therefore, 10 into 10 power minus plus 6 into 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 is equals to k into 100 into e square. 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. Charge of electron is this much only, no ma? So divided by R. Clear? So from this, you try to calculate R value. That is our answer. Okay? So what is the R value you should get? 14.4 into 10 power minus 15 meters. 14.4 into 10 power minus 15 meters. Just you can write 14.4 Fermi. Fm means Fermi, 10 power minus 50. That is our answer. Okay, ma? So let us try to understand what is this given question, ma? So see. So a proton is moving with a speed u directly towards a free proton originally at rest position. So it means here I have a proton. Clear, ma? Initially it was in rest position and it is free. Free means what? Can you see? Free means nobody is holding this one. Nobody is holding this one. It can move easily when force is applied. Clear? So there is one more proton which is moving with a speed of u. So this is another proton. Are you able to understand, ma? Which is moving with an initial speed of u directly towards the free proton. It is directed towards the another proton which is in rest position. Okay. Now find the distance of closest approach for the two protons. So mass of proton is m and charge of proton is u. Clear, no, ma? Now what is meant by distance of closest approach again? So in previous condition also we have calculated distance of closest approach. Here also we are calculating distance of closest approach. Then what is the difference between both of them? Can you see? So here what is meant by distance of closest approach in previous condition? Previous condition, tin nucleus was in rest position. No? Tin nucleus, it was not moving. Somebody was holding that tin nucleus. But here condition is different. Clear, no, ma? So this proton also it is free to move. So when this proton starts approaching this proton, can you say what will happen? When its proton starts approaching this proton, can you say what will happen? It will also move, no? It means velocity of this proton continuously decreases. That's all, no, ma? Velocity of this proton continuously decreases. Why it decreases? Because there is a force of repulsion between one proton and another proton. And then what happens to speed of this proton? Speed of this proton continuously increases. This is what is happening, no? So therefore here what I write, for this proton, its speed continuously decreases. Its speed continuously decreases. What happens to speed of this proton? Its speed continuously increases. Its speed continuously increases. Are you able to understand, ma? So therefore, at the distance of closest approach, what will happen? At the distance of closest approach, both these particles will have same speed. Why they will have same speed? Because speed of this particle is continuously decreasing, no? Speed of this particle continuously increases. At the distance of closest approach, these two particles will have same speed. Because after that, what is going to happen? Speed of this particle is going to be decreased, speed of this particle is going to be increased. So separation between them will again increase. So only at the distance of, or we can write like this, only when velocities become equal, only when velocities become equal, then what will happen? Then both particles are at minimum separation. At minimum separation. Are you able to understand, ma? So at which condition both the particles will be at minimum separation? When velocities of both the particles have become equal. Clear, no, ma? So it means that let us consider somewhere this is proton number 1. Clear, ma? And somewhere here this is proton number 2. Okay, so they are present at a minimum separation of r naught. Okay, then what is the velocity of this particle? Velocity of this particle is v. Velocity of this particle is also v only. So both of them will have same velocity, and separation between them will be how much? Separation between them will be r naught. Clear? So after the getting equal velocity, now what will happen? Now what will happen? Velocity of this particle further decreases, no? Velocity of this particle further increases. So separation between them will again increase. So only at this distance, when velocities are equal, then only distance between them will be minimum. Are you able to understand? Now can you say, how can I solve this problem? So only to understand this condition only, we have done all this discussion. Now how can I solve this problem? Can you say? Again, you can use law of conservation of energy only, no? What is law of conservation of energy? Again, same concept. See, here also only mechanical forces are acting, no? Only conservative forces are acting. External forces acting are zero. Only electrostatic forces are acting, and electrostatic forces are always conservative forces. So therefore, again I can use law of conservation of mechanical energy. Again I can use the same relation, no? What is law of conservation of mechanical energy? K1 plus U1 is equals to K2 plus U2. That's all, number. Initial kinetic energy is how much? Initial kinetic energy is possessed by only proton number 1, no? Only this proton is having initial kinetic energy. So how much it is? Half m u square. Initial potential energy 0, because they are present at a very large separation. Clear, number? Final kinetic energy is how much, can you say? K2. Final kinetic energy, no? Now which particle is having final kinetic energy? First particle is also having, second particle is also having, no? Both of them, they have common velocity. So both of them have same kinetic energy. So therefore, final kinetic energy is half mv square plus half mv square. Both of them will have same kinetic energy. Now they are at a separation of r naught, no? So therefore, potential energy is also existing, no, between them. Potential energy is how much? K q1 q2 divided by r. So K into Q value is E, and another Q value is also E divided by R naught. That's all, Rama. So this is my equation. Now here you see how many unknown quantities are present. What I want, basically I want this R naught. This is only what I want to know. But to calculate R naught, V is also an unknown quantity, no? U already it is given. U already it is given in the question, no? U is already given. V is an unknown quantity. So V value, how can I find out? Can you say? Anybody, ma? How can I find out V value? V value, how can I find out? Final velocity, how can I find out? Anybody? Mechanical energy already we have used here. By this one I cannot calculate V value, because here R naught is also a known quantity. Clear, no? So any other method? I can use law of, no. I can use law of conservation of momentum, no? In first year topic, we have studied law of conservation of momentum. This relation we have studied, no? What is law of conservation of momentum? In the case of collision, total initial momentum is equal to total final momentum. So therefore, I can write m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equals to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. This is law of conservation of momentum, no? Total initial momentum before collision is equals to total final momentum after collision. Clear, no? So m1, mass of first particle is m, initial velocity is u. That's all, no? Second particle initially it was in rest position, no? So therefore its momentum is 0. Clear, no? Final momentum. So after collision, both of these particles, they are having same velocity, no? Same velocity. So therefore what I can write? mv plus mv. This is the final momentum. That's all, no? So m and m gets cancelled. So therefore 2v is equal to u. Therefore v is equals to u by 2. Now I got final velocity, no? So take this v value, substitute in this relation and in this relation. Are you able to understand, ma? Then you will get an equation for R naught. That is my answer. Okay, come on. Make a note up to here. Okay, ma? So this is the R value which you should get. R is equals to E square divided by pi m E naught into U square. Clear? So I will give you one more question. Try to answer this one. Given question. So this is a pendulum. This is a bob which is connected to an insulated thread. Insulated thread means what? Charge cannot travel through this thread. Clear number? Then we are supplying an uniform electric field which is whose magnitude is equals to mg divided by q. Okay. So this pendulum, initially it was at an angle of 45 degrees. Now I am releasing this pendulum. Okay. So if I release this pendulum, then what he is asking, find the angular velocity of the rod. Rod means this string. Clear ma? When it passes through the bottommost point. So this, if I release this pendulum, it will reach to the bottommost point, no ma? It will reach up to this position. Clear? So here what is its angular velocity omega? This I am supposed to find out. Okay? Come on. Think about this question and see how you can solve this question. Come on. Here on this pendulum, an external force is also acting, no? So if charged particle is present in an electric field, definitely it experiences a force of repulsion. So if this is the direction of electric field, clear nama, then positive charge also experiences force in the same direction. This is what we have been studying, no? So therefore, because of this external electric field, this pendulum definitely will experience a force in this direction. So again we use the concept of law of conservation of energy only in this condition. Clear? So what is, how can I write law of conservation of energy here? On this pendulum, how many forces are doing work? One force is gravitational force is acting, no? Another force is force due to electric field is also acting. So therefore, how many total forces are acting here? Work done due to gravitational force plus work done due to external electric field. So these are the two forces, and work done due to tension is also present. So this is equals to change in kinetic energy. This is the law of conservation of energy concept, Noma, which is called as work energy theorem. Are you able to understand? So work done due to gravitational force, work done due to electric field, and work done due to tension. All of them, they should be responsible for change in kinetic energy of the ball. That's all, no? Now can you say work done due to tension is how much? Work done due to tension is how much? Work done due to tension is 0. What is the reason? Because tension is always pulling the bob in this direction, but bob is moving in this direction. So what is the angle between them? Angle between them is always equal to 90 degrees. So therefore work done will become 0. Okay, ma? Let us wait for some time. That's all, no, ma? So 3 forces are acting. So out of 3 forces, work done due to tension will be 0. Clear? Now can you say work done by gravitational force, how can I calculate? Gravitational force is doing how much work on this pendulum? Clear, Doma? No. When this pendulum reaches here, then what is the vertical height reached by the pendulum? So this is h value. This h already we have calculated, no? So first of all, let us calculate work done due to gravitational force. Clear, Nama? So pendulum, weight of the pendulum is acting in which direction? Weight of the pendulum mg is acting in downwards direction. So this is the force given by gravitational force. Gravitational force is mg only, no? So gravitational force mg is acting in downwards direction. Clear, Nama? And pendulum, it reached from here to here. So what is the vertical height it has reached? It has come down by h height, no? So how can I calculate this h value? H is equals to L into 1 minus cos theta. This equation already we have studied many times, no ma? If pendulum has covered an angle of theta, then what is the vertical height reached by the pendulum? Vertical displacement covered is h is equals to L into 1 minus cos theta. So mg is acting in downwards direction. H is also in downwards direction only, no? So therefore work done by gravitational force is positive or negative? Work done by gravitational force is definitely positive. So therefore what is the equation for work done due to gravitational force? It is mgl into 1 minus cos theta. This is the work done by gravitational force. That's all, number? Okay. Now we will calculate work done due to electric field. This also we have to calculate, no? So second one is work done due to electric field. This one how can I calculate, can you say? Work done due to electric field. Electric field is applied in which direction? Electric field is applied in this direction. Clear, Nama? So therefore this will be the direction of force also, no? So it means electric force is applying force in this direction and pendulum is moving from here to here in the same direction. No? Clear? So how can I calculate this distance? How can I calculate this distance? Can you say anybody? No, distance. This distance, how can I calculate? Work done is force into displacement only, no ma? Force is how much? Force is force applied due to electric field, Q into E. That is the magnitude of force, no? Force due to electric field is how much? Q into E. Q is Q only. E value already it is given. E value is equals to mg divided by Q. So this much of electric force will be applied. Now what is the distance travelled by the pendulum? In this direction, what is the distance travelled by the pendulum? How much? This total length, can't I split this one into two components? So total length of this pendulum, I can split into two components, no? This is the total length of the pendulum. I can split this one into two components. This angle is 45, no? So this is L cos 45 and this is L sin 45. That's all, no? So therefore, this is the distance covered by the pendulum. Which distance? Horizontal distance covered by the pendulum. Why we are taking horizontal force only? Why we are taking horizontal distance only? Because electric force is applied in same direction, no? So we are concerned about distance only in horizontal direction. Clear, no? So therefore, what is the work done by electric force? Work done by electric field is force into displacement. Force is how much? Q into E. Displacement is how much? L sin 45. That's all, no? So work done due to gravitational force is mgl into 1 minus cos theta. Theta value is 45. Cos 45 is 1 by root 2. So work done by electric field is Q into L sin 45. So both of them, they should be responsible for change in kinetic energy. So change in kinetic energy. Initial kinetic energy is how much? Initial kinetic energy 0 because this bob was in rest position. Final kinetic energy half mv square. So just substitute both of them, that should be our answer. Clear, Nama? So therefore, if I write here, then how can I write a relation? I can write like this, no? So work done due to gravitational force is how much? mgl into 1 minus cos 45 is 1 by root 2. That's all, Nama? So plus q into E. E value is how much? E value is mg divided by q into L. Sin 45 is how much? Again 1 by root 2. So this is equals to change in kinetic energy. Change in kinetic energy means was K2 minus K1. Final kinetic energy is half mv square. Initial kinetic energy is 0. Clear, Nama? So from this what he is asking us to find out? From this we will calculate V value, no? From this we will calculate V value. V value means what? V value means tangential velocity of this pendulum. That is called as V value, no? Tangential velocity of this pendulum is called as V. So once I calculate V value, how can I calculate omega value? Once I calculate V value, how can I calculate omega value? Already we have a relation, no? So V tangential is equals to omega into R. This is the relation. V tangential is equals to omega into R. So what is R value? R value is nothing but radius in which body is moving, no? What is the radius in which this pendulum is moving? Nothing but L. Clear, Nama? So therefore, omega value, how can I calculate? This is V, nothing but tangential. Omega is equals to Vt divided by L. So just to do this calculation, that will be our equation for omega. Understood, Nama? Come on. Make a note, calculate this tangential velocity, substitute here. That is my required angular velocity. Okay, ma? So these are our answers. Tangential velocity is root 2gl. And angular velocity is root of 2g divided by L. Okay, ma? So, I hope you know this relation. Already we have studied this relation many times, no? Tangential velocity is equals to omega into R. Okay, ma? Okay. Okay, ma? So, this is the given question. See how you can solve this one. Okay. So 3-point charges of 0.1 coulomb each are placed at the corners of an equilateral triangle of side 1 meter. Clear, Nama? So it means, let us consider this is an equilateral triangle. Clear, Nama? Each side is having how much length? 1 meter of length. What is the charge? 0.1 coulomb. 0.1 coulomb and 0.1 coulomb. Are you able to understand, ma? So this is the arrangement of charges. Now, if we are supplying energy at the rate of 1 kilowatt, what is meant by 1 kilowatt here? 1 kilowatt is nothing but power, no? Power is nothing but work done by time is equals to 1 kilowatt of energy, 1 kilowatt of power we are supplying. It means we can generate this amount of power in this much amount of time. Are you able to understand, ma? That is called as power. Clear? Now, by supplying this power, what I am doing? I am taking one of these charges to the midpoint of the line joining the other charges. It means this configuration I am changing into this configuration. Clear, no? So, this is also 0.1 coulomb, this is also 0.1 coulomb, this is also 0.1 coulomb. So, this charge, just I am moving this one to the midpoint of these two charges. Clear? Then, if I am supplying this much amount of power, then how much time will be required to change this configuration from this configuration to this configuration? That is my question. Okay. So, can you say how can I calculate? Can I say how can I calculate, ma? Anybody? No need of law of conservation of energy in this condition. How can I calculate? Very simple. First you calculate what is the potential energy of first configuration. Then you calculate what is the potential energy of second configuration. So subtract both of them. That will be the difference of potential energy, no? So how we got that difference of potential energy? Because we have done some work. That's all, no? So when I calculate work done, can't I calculate time? Time, how can I calculate? Time is equals to work done divided by power. Work done is how much? That is U2 minus U1. What is U2 minus U1? Final potential energy minus initial potential energy divided by power. Power is already given, no? 1 into 10 power 3 watts. Kilowatts means 1 into 10 power 3 watts. From that, can't I calculate time? That's all. That is my answer. Okay. Now try to calculate. See, ma. Initial potential energy is how much? Initial potential energy, all these three charges, they are present at same distance, no? So how many pairs are possible here? Three charges are present. So how many pairs will be possible? Three pairs will be possible, no? And all of them, they are present at same distance. So how to calculate number of pairs? For calculating number of pairs, already we have a formula, no? Number of pairs. What is the formula? N into n minus 1 divided by 2. That's all, no? So 3 into 3 minus 1 divided by 2. So 3 into 1 is equals to 3 pairs are possible. That's all, no? What are the 3 pairs? First pair, second pair, third pair. These are the 3 pairs. And all of them, they are present at same distance only, no? And charges are also equal. So therefore, directly I can write U1 is equals to 3 into KQ square divided by R. I can write like this, no? KQ1, Q2 divided by R is potential energy for one pair. How many pairs are there? 3 pairs are there. So therefore, U1 is equals to 3 into K into Q value is how much, ma? 0.1. So 0.1 whole square divided by what is the distance between them? 1 meter. So this is the initial potential energy. Final potential energy, how can I calculate? Final potential energy, so U2. Clear now? So this is the arrangement of 3 charges, no? So first of all, how many pairs are present here also? Here also 3 pairs only, 3 charges are present, no? So what are the 3 pairs? So this one and this one first pair. This one and this one second pair. This one and last one third pair. So for this one and this one, potential energy will remain same, no? What is this distance? This distance is half meter. That's all, no? Total it is 1 meter, no? So therefore this distance will be half meter. This distance also will be half meter. This total distance will be equal to 1 meter. So therefore U2 value, how can I calculate? So 2 into K into 0.1 whole square divided by 1 by 2. Can I write like this? Why I am writing 2 here? Because for this pair and for this pair, potential energy remains same. So 2 into KQ1 Q2 divided by R. Clear nama? Similarly, now I have calculate potential energy between this particle and this particle. No? So for that one, what is the potential energy? K into 0.1 whole square divided by 1. Because the distance between this one and this one is 1 meter. Clear nama? So this is my initial potential energy. This one is the final potential energy. So subtract both of them, then divide by 1 into 10 power 3 watts. That will be the time taken. That's all. No? Come on, do from here onwards. Okay, ma? So U1 you should get 27 into 10 power 7 joules. K value already you know, no ma? K value is how much? 1 by 4 pi E naught. Or you can write 9 into 10 power 9. This is our K value. Clear? So U2 is how much? 45 into 10 power 7 joules. So you are doing U2 minus U1. So which is equals to 18 into 10 power 7 joules. Clear? Then for power is equals to work done by time. No? So time is equals to work done divided by power. So 8 into 10 power 4 seconds, or you can say 50 hours will be taken to make this charge move from this position to this position. Clear number? So very huge amount of time is taken. No? That's all. That is our answer. Okay. So we will continue our discussion in the next. So question, have you understood, ma? So two equal point charges, okay, Q are fixed at x is equals to plus a and x is equal to minus a. So another point charge capital Q is placed at the origin. Okay. Then we are supposed to find out what is the change in potential energy of the system when Q is slightly displaced along the axis which is joining these two charges. That is the question. Okay. So see how you can do this calculation. So consider this is the given line. So consider this is the origin. Okay, ma? So at this position I have this, let this be minus a, and this position let it be plus a. So here there is Q charge, here there is small q, and here also there is small q. So this is the initial arrangement of the system. Clear, ma? Then finally in next arrangement what we are doing, this q we are slightly displacing this q in the direction of this line joining the charges. That is, either you can take it is displaced in this direction or in the backwards, or it is displaced in right side or left side, anything you can take. Then in that condition, what will be the total change in potential energy of the system? That is the question. Clear, Nama? So therefore what I will assume, second arrangement I will take to be like this. So this is the origin. Clear, Nama? So this I can call it as Q, which is present at a distance of plus a, and this will be minus q, which is arranged at a distance of minus a. Now this q, instead of this one present to be at this origin, I will consider q is present here. Are you able to understand, ma? So let us assume that from the origin it is slightly displaced by a distance of x. Okay. So therefore what is x here? X means displaced distance. Displaced distance. Okay, ma? So q is slightly displaced from origin to this position. Okay. Now how can you calculate the total change in potential energy of the system? That is what we are supposed to do. Okay, ma? So initial potential energy is how much, can you see? So total initial potential energy is how much when this is the arrangement of charges? How much? So here how many pairs of charges are present, ma? How many pairs of charges are present? Huh? Come on, try to answer. Three charges are present. If three charges are present, then how many pairs are possible? How many pairs are possible? So already we have calculated previously, no? So number of pairs is given by which equation? N into n minus 1 divided by 2. This is the equation, Nama. Number of pairs is given by n into n minus 1 divided by 2. Clear? So number of charges are 3. 3 into 3 minus 1 divided by 2. So 2 gets cancelled. So 3 pairs are possible. That is the meaning of this one, Nama. 3 pairs are possible. What are the 3 pairs? So this is one pair, this is second pair, and this total is the third pair. Clear? So find out their potential energy. So total initial potential energy can be written as, first you take potential energy between these two and these two. So both of them are equal, no? So charges are also equal, and similarly the arrangement of charges is also equal, that is distance between them is also equal. So can I write 2kqq divided by A? Can I write like this, ma? For this pair and this pair, this is how I can write. Clear? Next, for this is small q and another small q, they are separated by a distance of 2a. So for them I can write k q square divided by 2a. That's all, no? So this is the initial potential energy of the system. Clear? Then how can I write equation for final potential energy for this system, for second system? So here also how many pairs are possible, ma? For second arrangement also how many pairs are possible? Come on. 3 pairs only, no? Again 3 charges are present, so 3 pairs are possible. So again this is the first pair, this is the second pair, and this total is the third pair which is possible. Clear? So final potential energy I can write k q square divided by 2a, for which pair? For this small q and this small q. Next, for these two how can I write? For these two I can write, so k q into capital Q divided by, now what is the total distance between this small q and this capital Q? In between this small q and capital Q, what is the total distance now? Up to here distance is a, no? This distance is x. So total distance is a plus x whole square. Clear? Now I want potential energy between this capital Q and this small q. For in between them, what is the potential energy? So again k small q into capital Q divided by, now what is this distance, ma? This distance is how much? This distance, a minus x, that's all, no? So a minus x whole square, sorry there is no square, no? So just it is kq divided by r. So kqq divided by a minus x. Are you able to understand, ma? So therefore how can I calculate change in potential energy? He is asking change only, no? Change in potential energy means what I have to do now? Change in potential energy means what shall I do? Come on. This is initial potential energy, final potential energy. Change in potential energy means U2 minus U1. That's all, no? So therefore, change in potential energy is nothing but U2 minus U1. Final potential energy minus initial potential energy. So if I subtract both of them, then kq square by 2a, kq square by 2a, they will get cancelled because both of them are equal. Now what is the total change I will get? Total change I will get is, so kqx divided by a plus x plus kqx divided by a minus x. So plus, now I have this relation, no? So it is equal to 2kq into small q divided by a. So this is the relation which I have. Are you able to understand, ma? That's all, no? kq square that's all. Clear, ma? So first of all make a note up to here, then we will continue from here. Let us see. So therefore delta U is equals to so kqq, if I take common, then I can write it as 1 by a plus x plus 1 by a minus x minus 2kqq divided by a. I can write like this. So delta U is equals to kqq into, if I take LCM, then it is a plus x into a minus x. So a square minus x square. So this is a minus x plus a plus x. Clear, nama? So minus 2kq into q divided by a. So therefore delta U is equals to kq into small q into, so 2a divided by a square minus x square minus 2kq into q divided by a. So I can write up to here. Okay, ma? So further, if I want to simplify this one, then what I can do? So I will take a square common. So delta u is equals to kq into small q into, so 2a divided by a square. If I take common, then it is 1 minus x square divided by a square. Clear ma? So minus 2 kq into small q divided by a. Okay. So this square and a gets cancelled. So therefore delta u is equals to k capital Q into small q divided by a into 2, this one I am taking here. Then I can write it as 1 minus x square by a square whole power minus 1. So this is 1 minus x square minus a square. It is present in denominator ma. I am taking this one to the numerator. So minus 2kq into small q divided by a. Clear? Now I got equation up to here. Now here x value is much less than a value, no ma? Why x value is much less than a value? Because the charge is slightly displaced. So therefore x value is much lesser than a value. So therefore it means that I can use the binomial theorem. And in binomial theorem, only first term is significant, remaining all terms will be very small. So therefore delta u is equals to 2kq into q divided by a into 1 minus 1 if I take, then it will become 1 plus x square divided by a square. So minus 2kq into q divided by a. Clear ma? So therefore delta u is equals to 2kq divided by a. If I take common, then it is 1 plus x square by a square minus 1. Clear ma? So delta u is equals to 1 and 1 gets cancelled. So 2kq into qx square divided by a cube. Okay ma? So this is the change in potential energy of this system if a charge is slightly displaced. Have you understood ma, all of you, first of all? So this is a ring which is charged with a linear charge density of lambda. Radius of the ring is r, and center of the ring is present at origin. Center of the ring is present at the origin. Clear number? Then at a distance of this coordinates root 3r 0, 0. So there is one point charge p. Clear? Whose initial velocity is v, and it has a positive charge of plus q. Clear ma? And mass of this charge is m. Then the question is, what is the minimum velocity with which I can project this particle such that it doesn't return back? That is, it should not cross this ring also. Similarly, it should not return back also. So in that condition, what is the minimum velocity which I can give to this particle? Okay ma? So anybody of you, can you say how can I calculate this one? How can I solve this one ma? By using which logic can I solve this problem? That is the question. Can you say anybody? So always I can use law of conservation of energy, no? Always I can use law of conservation of energy. Clear? So here what is the note point here we have to write? Note point which we have to write is, if particle does not return, then after reaching the center of ring, its velocity should be how much ma? Its velocity should be 0. Are you able to understand ma? So this particle, after reaching the center of this ring, what should be its velocity? Its velocity should become 0. Then only it will be in rest position. It cannot move in forward direction. It cannot move in backward direction. All of you are able to understand what is happening? So therefore, calculate initial energy and final energy. That should give our answer. So what is U1 and this is not potential energy ma? Energy. So total energy initial should be equal to total energy final. Now how many kinds of energies are there? So only conservative forces are acting here, no? Electrostatic forces are only conservative forces. If only conservative forces are acting, then what is the equation I can use? I can use law of conservation of mechanical energy. What is law of conservation of mechanical energy, ma? So K1 plus U1 is equals to K2 plus U2. This is the law of conservation of mechanical energy. So total initial energy is equals to total final energy. Sum of kinetic energy plus potential energy initially, sum of kinetic energy and potential energy finally. Now what is initial kinetic energy? Initial kinetic energy is half mv square. Because particle, when it is present at this distance, it has a potential kinetic energy of half mv square. Clear, Nama? Now can you say what is the initial potential energy of this system? Can you say, anybody? Okay. So initial kinetic energy, only this particle has velocity, no? So only that particle has kinetic energy. What about initial potential energy of the system? Can you say, ma? What is initial? Zero, na? No, it is not zero. Initial potential energy of the system is how much? Anybody? Initial potential energy. U1, how can I calculate? Anybody, ma? Come on. See, my initial potential kq square divided by, no. Clear, ma? See, ma, here, because of this ring, here at this point there will be some potential, no? Are you able to understand? Because of this ring, here at this point there will be some potential. How can I calculate that potential? How can I calculate this potential? Clear, Nama? So already we have calculated potential because of a ring in the previous conditions. Do you remember that one? Okay, see. For example, if this is the ring, charged ring, so it is completely charged like this. Clear, Nama? Then total charge on ring is how much here? Total charge on ring is how much, ma? So lambda is equals to charge per unit length. This is called as linear charge density, no? So therefore lambda is equals to charge divided by, now what is the total length of this ring? Total length of the ring is nothing but circumference of the ring, no? Circumference of the ring is how much? 2 pi into capital R. So therefore what is the total charge possessed by this ring? Total charge possessed is Q is equals to 2 pi R into lambda. So this is the total amount of charge which is present. Now here at this point P, can you say what is the potential? Clear, ma? What is this distance? This distance is already given as root 3 into R. This distance is root 3 into R. Now here what is the potential? Because of this charged ring. Clear, ma? How can I calculate? So previously already we have calculated, no? You take a small element on this ring which is having a small charge of dq. Clear, Nama? Then small amount of dv, small amount of potential, because of this small amount of ring, how can I write? dv is equals to k dq divided by r. This is how we have written, no? dv is equals to k dq divided by r. What is r value? This distance is called as r value. Then how can I calculate this r value, ma? This r value, how can I calculate? R value is equals to square root of, so here I have a right angled triangle. This is a capital R, this is a root 3 into R. So R square plus root 3 into R whole square. So how much it is? R is equals to square root of R square plus 3R square. So 4R square. So totally it is equal to 2R. So therefore R value is how much? R value is equals to 2 into capital R. Clear, Nama? So therefore potential due to this small ring is dV. Then what is the potential due to total ring? Potential due to total ring is how much? You have to integrate on both sides, no? Integrate on both sides. So therefore V is equals to KQ divided by R value. R value is how much? 2R. So this is the potential due to ring at this point. That's all, no? All of you are able to understand, ma? First of all, make a note up to here, then we will discontinue how we can calculate. Okay, ma? So therefore, here potential is KQ divided by 2R. Then how can I calculate potential between this small q and this what you call total ring charge? So what is potential energy? The amount of work done to bring this small charge from infinity to that point. So therefore, U1 can be written as work done uh, per unit charge. Or I can write U1 is nothing but work done is nothing but V into Q. Clear ma? So what is the potential due to ring? Potential due to ring is KQ divided by 2R multiplied by Q. So this is the initial potential energy. Clear? Similarly, K2 is how much? K2 value is how much ma? K2 means what? Final kinetic energy of the system. Final kinetic energy should be how much? When this point charge reaches to the center of the ring, its velocity should become 0, no? Its velocity should become 0. Then only it will not return back. So final kinetic energy should be 0. Are you able to understand ma? So K1 we have calculated, Ku1 we have calculated, K2 we have calculated. Now how can I calculate U2? U2 is how much? U2 means what? Final potential energy when this charge has reached the center of this ring. U2 value how can I calculate? Final potential energy is how much? Come on. So U2 is also W, no? Work done. Clear? So this I can calculate as W1, this I can calculate as W2. So now can you say, okay, ma? So see. So this is the ring. Clear, Nama? Here at the center I want to calculate potential due to ring. Then what I can do? I will take a small element of this ring which is having a small charge of dq. Clear, Nama? So because of this dq, small amount of potential here will be how much? So dv is equals to k dq divided by capital R, because this distance is capital R. Now if I want total potential, what I have to do? Integrate on both sides. So v is equals to k divided by R integration of dq. Clear, ma? Integration of dq is what? Q only, total amount of charge present on this ring. Total amount of charge present on this ring is capital Q, already we have calculated. So therefore how much it is? So V is equals to KQ divided by R. So this is the potential exactly at the center of the ring. Now here if potential is KQ divided by R, then what will be the potential energy between this small q and this total ring? So what is meant by potential energy? Potential energy is nothing but work done to bring unit positive charge from infinity to that point. Clear, Nama? So work done is how much? Work done is V into small q only, no? I am bringing small q charge from infinity to center of the ring. Clear, Nama? So potential at the center of the ring is how much? KQ divided by R plus Q. Sorry, multiplied by Q. So this is the final potential energy. So K1 we have written, U1 we have calculated, K2 is 0, U2 already we have calculated. So substitute all those values. Then I will get the initial velocity, no required velocity. So that is my answer. So initial potential energy is how much, ma? Initial potential energy is this much. So K Q into Q divided by 2R. Clear? Final kinetic energy, after charge reaches to the center of the ring, its velocity will become 0. So final kinetic energy is 0. So final potential energy is how much? So K capital Q into Q divided by R. Okay. So this is our required equation. So once I get equation, can't I calculate this V value? Okay. So come on, substitute that one and calculate. Okay, ma? So therefore, half mv square is equals to half mv square plus k. Q value is how much, ma? Q value is 2 pi capital R into lambda into Q divided by 2R. So is equals to k into, again instead of capital Q I can write 2 pi R into lambda into Q divided by R. So from this one calculate V, that is our required answer. Okay. So V is equals to square root of lambda Q divided by 2m E naught. So K value we have to substitute 1 by 4 pi into E naught. That is my required answer.